All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the night. It is the time of the night that most of you have been waiting for. Thank you so much to Piercing. Fisher, it wasn't supposed to be you, but you're pulling double duty in the suit. You absolutely love to see it. Thank you to Louisville and MSU. What a great match that was. But yeah, we are now here. It is Akron. It is Iowa State University varsity. Based on last match, do you think any of that, even though these are completely different people and teams, Fisher, do you think any of that could end up translating? Like, will ISU fumble in the way that MS that Louisville did, or is Akron just going to stomp, or what? What are you thinking?
Honestly, I just want to see a competitive set. I mean, that's a beautiful thing. I think MSU were the underdogs last match. Didn't look like it in game. They looked pretty dominant. I don't know if we'll see that from Iowa State, obviously, the underdogs in their own kind. And any team can win any day, right?
Yep.
But we're talking about Akron. They're looking
Yeah,
to
we are.
three-peat, the first ever college team to make Challenger League quals. This is, I think, in my mind, the best squad inside of Midwest R6. We'll see if they're up to the challenge, though. That's what it all comes down to. None of the rest of the season matters, only this game. And for all the Iowa State fans, certainly hoping they can dethrone the Kings here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, one of the most impressive teams in collegiate history, no matter what league. Out of all college teams, this is probably the 2017 Warriors of collegiate, in all honesty. And speaking of, let's take a look at Team One's rosters. I believe that will be ISU. No, it will. Yes, it will. It is ISU. ISU being Team One. Now, dear viewer, it was not Fisher with me last week. It was Piercing. You just saw him. Riken, Whirl, Nimble, Reply, and Enterprise. This is the exact same team that you guys heard me predict correctly to go against and win against CC last week. So, player average rank of 88, record of 8-2. The exact same team. They came out absolutely storming against CC and pushed them even farther than they have been pushed before, unless your name is Akron. So yeah, the player overtime will be Whirl, I believe, but player overtime for Iowa Varsity, it's actually Reckon. It's actually Reckon. I cannot remember if it was him last time or not, but either way, all of them balled out last week against CC. Like it was a team collective effort. It absolutely had to be. No bless, no problem. And Reekins, his stats here are kind of reflecting that as to how good they've done in the playoffs versus how good they did in the regular season. Fisher.
Yeah, I mean, the end over end improvement is incredible. Going from 42, which, normally you want your rating over 50, to increasing it to 54. You nearly double your KDR, up a little bit in the kills per round, and the survival rate. Survival rate is always one of my favorite statistics, just seeing how many rounds you can still be impactful in without giving your life away. 22% improvement is huge. That's about as big of a leap as you're going to see anywhere. So seeing that turnaround from Reckon, you love to see it if you're a fan. You love to see it even more if you're one of the teammates. It's definitely going to be a good sign. Moving forward, though, we're going to get to take a look at
Mm-hmm.
Iowa State's most played maps. Maybe get a little bit of a glimpse ahead in time where we could be going tonight. Cafe, Chalet, Consulate, Night Haven, all up there pretty far.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I don't think this changed, aka, I don't think this updated last week. But Chalet, Consulate, and Night Haven were the three maps that they played CC on last week. They didn't go to three maps, obviously. I think the decider there was Night Haven. So Night Haven would be four if they'd have made it, but Consulate, Chalet are four, technically, if you want to bring that up. Cafe being six, I believe Cafe was really early banned from CC last week. Not necessarily sure what Akron ended up doing in the map bans on this one just yet, but either way, yeah. Seeing Skyscraper and Bank down there being at one makes me a little less optimistic if we do end up going to one of those two, because we saw it. If they wouldn't have done so well at the LAN against Fisher in the finals, I believe, where they were on Consulate, I don't think they would have had the same amount of confidence that they had going into map one, which was Consulate last week against CC. But at the end of the day, they were on a heater. They're still technically on that same heater, just a week removed. So it's going to be interesting to see how they hold up and if these most played maps come into play for them here tonight. Season roadmap. How did Iowa State varsity get here. We saw this last week. We're going to quickly run over it again. They beat SAU and Purdue to start off 2-0, lost to this specific Akron team. I believe it was 7-1 and 7-2, or vice versa. They lost to CC, but that didn't end up mattering because they beat them to get here. They beat TOSU Scarlet. Then they beat KSU Varsity. And then they beat UIUC. That was giving me trouble. But yeah, either way, it was a pretty decent overall season for them. They only ended up losing two, and they have already corrected one of those midseason losses by beating CC. Can they do it against Akron? We will have to see as we fly right on now into the Iowa State quote. Rican says, no quote needed. How cold is that? They know what they're in for. This is either going to be a knockdown drag out or an absolute slaughter. And that, whichever happens, will be left up for very wide open interpretations. Team 2 rosters. Team 2 being Akron tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This is the exact same team that you know and love. I believe it is, and I think I have all of them except for one. Yep, that's it. I could not remember Jobu for the life of me earlier today, but Plex, Zosa, Jet, Space, and Jobu, of course, not to be forgotten. This is the exact same team that we all know and love. Plex being the main newcomer to this team, and he has fit like an absolute glove with these guys. Player average rank of 34, record of 9-0. Dear viewer, I just want to let you know that they have not dropped a singular map throughout the entirety of this thing. That is how good these guys are. Not only that, Fisher mentioned it earlier, not letting him get too much breathing room right now, but he needs a little bit of a break. They made Challenger League. They're one of the first, if not the first, collegiate team to ever do that. So I mean, this is one of the most emphatic rosters that we've ever seen. They will be losing Jet, I believe, after this season. So we'll have to see how they look afterwards. I mentioned it earlier today. I'm not going to say it will be, but it could be the end of this quote unquote era of Akron varsity losing Jet. I'm not quite sure if they're losing Space as well or not, but I do know Jet is gone after this. Player over time now for Team 2. I believe it will be probably Zosa. Yep, and it is. Fisher, I didn't really speak too heavily on the stats for the ISU player, but I'm gonna let you kind of dissect this a little bit because these stats are absolutely juice.
Yeah, of course. When we look back at ISU, reckon it was like already a pretty big improvement from
Mm-hmm.
maybe a little bit subpar performance to
Yeah.
kind of starting to stand out, right? Starting to get the name out there.
Mm-hmm.
Exosa was already an insane player, right? 54 rating, 1.6 KD. It is skyrocketed up to an almost 62 rating, 2.3 KD, getting a kill per round, and on top of that, 55% survival rate. It is pretty unheard of to see anything above a 40, but 55 with those stats. This player is a problem. All five of them are problems. Quite honestly, maybe Zosa a little bit more than the others. We're also going to get a glimpse at the most played maps for
Mm-hmm.
Akron. See if there's any overlap, see if there's any maps that these two might like to go to. Chalet and Clubhouse up there quite a bit. And of course, not as many played maps as the other teams, because like you said, they have not lost a map so
Nope.
far this season.
Yeah, I mean Akron being obviously Glaze here, Glaze there, blah blah blah, best collegiate team of all time. They're just a solid overall team. They're one of the best teams for that reason. They play as a collective unit. Their comms are never cluttered. They have the bodies in the right positions at all times. And one of their favorite maps to play, I know this because I have special insight because Glaze, blah blah blah, he loves Akron. Clubhouse. They absolutely love to go to Clubhouse. It's one of their favorite maps. Chalet being most played, probably due to the fact that it's a very common map now that Oregon is gone. And also, it could just be due to the opponent picks. Opponent maybe had picked Chalet a little bit more often for them this season. But yeah, from what I know, they absolutely love Clubhouse. That's probably one of the reasons why it is at 3. Cafe being 2, it's also more of like a maybe we go, maybe we don't. If you have a time traveling machine, you would go back to the day that Akron lost to Utah and tell them to ban Cafe. So that might be one of the reasons why that map is only at 2. Nighthaven, Border, and Bank, however, it just comes down to these maps could have been deciders for them in some of these best of threes. and they didn't get to it. And they didn't make it to it at all. They didn't make it to any decider at all. But at the end of the day, these three maps specifically have been picked at least one time for this Akron team. Now, let's move on over to the season roadmap, ladies and gentlemen, for Akron. It will be all green. No surprise there. 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, and 2-0. They beat CC. They beat Purdue. Two very heavy hitters coming out of the end of the regular season for them. They beat UIUC along with TOSU Scarlet, of course. Beat Iowa State back in week three. So week three been a big, important driving factor for both of these grand finals so far today. They beat SAU and then they beat KSU Varsity to start off their season here. Akron quote, however, didn't think there was too much to look at on the season roadmap, so let's take a look at Zosa's quote. Midwest sweater vest pregnancy test zips into. That is so insanely meta. Lakers in five meme. If you know it, you know it. Midwest sweater vest pregnancy test is crazy. Zips in two. He is 100% expecting this to not go to map three. And just like everyone else, most likely. But I do think that ISU will have a pretty good chance to put up a good fight.
Yeah, more so than most, ISU is ready for the challenge. And you got to think, this is what they've expected all along, right? It's a number one ranked team for a
Yep.
reason. They got to be ready to play them. Surprisingly, even given those stats, like Zosa, only at 7 on the league rank. I mean, I say that like it's a bad thing. It's a really good rank. Their ratings coming up, Reckon and Exosa. That high riser for ISU getting all the way up to 37, which insanely is lower than the average rank on this Akron squad. Just speaks to how well put together it is. We'll see what can happen. The big difference there, the KD ratio. Granted, we're in a game where KD is not everything, but still a little bit shocking to see. We'll see what happens though, as we're going to go ahead and get into the team comparison between these rosters, maybe get a little bit more composite view. And the one thing I'm looking at to actually benefit Iowa State, given the fact that they've dropped some maps, they have much more rounds played, so they're going to come in with a little bit more experience than Akron, at least against the competition here in Midwest R6.
I think you're 100% correct. I think they're going to have, at least here in Midwest R6, mind you, the experience advantage. Now, you can say what you want. Akron made Challenger League. Akron did this. Akron did that. Akron's on a 17 win streak for winning grand finals. Yeah, whoop de doo. But here within Midwest, this season so far, the most tenured team out of these two, 212 rounds played, it's been ISU. They've dropped a few maps. They've went to a few map threes. Their team KDR is not as high, but at the same time, it's kind of close. And as I say something like that, lobby kill leaders is actually all ISU. It is 156 for World, 148 for Reckon, and 139 for Koala. Now, interesting factoid: four, six, seven, 3 kills off was Zosa, I believe, from this lobby kill leader screen. He would have been number 3 if he would have just gotten 3 more kills. El bum. But either way, at the same time, he is still one of the best players. He would have been the fourth, or he is the fourth. He would have been the third if he'd have got a few more than Koala. But of course, Koala went off, especially in map 2 last week against CC.
Yeah, gotta be impressive, right? If you're ISU, you definitely want some names on the board. They did have 50 more rounds to accumulate those kills, but regardless, it's still positive, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna go on quickly here to the map bands. We'll see just what maps we're playing on. Always one of the top talking points for us here. On the desk, Consulate to start, Clubhouse to follow up, and if we make it a border decider, how fun.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. This is gonna be, I'm gonna get flamed for this. There is a very good chance that we see map 3. I know Akron hasn't dropped a single map. Look at map 1. ISU picked Consulate. Now, Akron has been known to do their homework, especially after losing to Utah in the way they did, fashion they did, greatest upset of all time, blah, blah, blah. I've heard it firsthand myself from some of the players on the University of Akron. They woke up after that and they started doing a lot more VOD review, a lot more, player review. Let's run some scrims and make sure that the people we scrim, kind of play like these people. They're so in depth with what they do. There is a good chance that either Akron stomps on Consulate here, or ISU squeaks it out in OT, because ISU are so good on Consulate. That's one of their favorite maps, and it's one of their best maps. That's why it got picked first. That's why they made sure the bans fell that way. Not necessarily sure if Akron were hoping to take them to Consulate. I think Akron's kind of more of a 50-50 type team on this map. So yeah, I mean, with how good they did on the LAN, winning the entire LAN on Consulate, it's gonna be tough. It is going to be so tough. As we are just about ready, I believe it's player to watch for Midwest Bets next. It is player to watch for your Midwest Bets. Make sure you get them in here in the chat and in the Discord if you're not already in it. Koala on this map, he did pretty good. This was map 1 last week. I feel like he did a little bit better on map 2 last week, but either way, he is going to be a big time player to watch on this map. It's going to revolve around him and Rican, in my opinion.
Yeah, and of course, quick reminder to anybody watching at home, when we go to the player to watch, this is map specific, right? So these are the stats on Consulate. 1.7 KD, very high. The rating as well, much higher than you would expect an average to be, all the way up there at 58. So certainly a strong map from Koala. The game is right around the corner, and we're going to jump right in. The grand finals for Division 1 start right now. Iowa State, Akron. We'll see who hoists the title.
Iowa State, Akron Varsity. I could not be any happier to be casting my first ever grand finals. The production I want, the co-caster I want, the teams I want. The only thing that could have made it better is a best of 5 and an earlier start time. But hey, you guys casted and watched a banger. Map 1, match 1. Blackbeard goes first here on map 1, Consulate, Iowa State's map. Monty goes second. It's no super big surprise because of the way that Monty was being played as more of like a flex for Iowa State last week, especially on club. So yeah, I'm not super duper surprised by that at all.
And I don't know if I'm surprised or expecting the double shield ban. Shields to me on Consulate are always so hot and cold.
True.
Right? They either go great or they go horrible. They shoot you in the foot and it's a reason you lose a round.
Very true.
It's one of the two, but regardless now, the only shield available will be Blitz, who still does seem some play at these levels. Mira and Valkyrie off the board. The Mira surprises me. This is not a map I normally think of as a Mira map.
Not particularly, but as you can tell there, that was a Iowa State ban, and I'm going to tell you something. Let you personally in on a little secret. It doesn't matter what operators Akron pick. Every single member of this Akron team can literally be playing Sentry if that was a thing, and they would all get some sort of value. So at this point, as the NFL draft is on, and a lot of you might be going back and forth, it's best player available.
I feel called out.
It's best. I mean, I'm doing the same thing. It's best player available. And in all honesty, the best operator available to take out of Akron's hands, whether this be their map or not, honestly, to me, was Mira. And it's really no surprise that Mira got taken off, because Mira is one of, if not the most flexible defending operator out of the entire lineup, besides maybe Sentry, and that's only because Sentry doesn't have a main gadget. Oh no.
Yeah, I think worth pointing out too, right? Like the surrounding kit with Mira is pretty good. They have a C4, they have a Vector, one of the best guns, the best secondary gadget. I believe we might see a Ricos here.
I was thinking the same thing.
It looks like the attack is playing things out. You know, I'm gonna continue casting this round.
Go ahead.
The assumption that it goes on. We'll see what happens here from Iowa State. I mean, if nothing else, it's confidence. It's confidence all the way. You don't need all 5 players.
No, not at all. Not especially when the fifth one was Rican. No, not at all. No.
I mean, already a ton of utility dump. I wonder if that's rehost.
I mean, there's a possibility. I'm not sure.
Down the skylight.
Okay. Word coming in that they might just be playing as is.
Interesting. But, you know, I guess they can try. It's only round 1, and this round is normally expected to go to the defense. Top floor, fairly defender side in sight. all things considered on this map. Well, can be looking for the mute jammer, but will get the drone hit before they can take it out. Unfortunately for the Twitch, and the Flores already making quick work that utility after the drone's down. One silhouette roaming close, but still in the other room, so Koala has no shot for now.
World just doing his best. That's really all he can do at this current point in time. Maybe scouting out below, but there are no Akron team members below currently, I don't think. Skylight has been dropped. Zosa going to need to make quick work, and he can't, though. 2v4 already, a double kill from Jobu in that shotgun. Just when you think you have the edge, just when you think you may have an advantage, the shotgun range true. They have 2 of them on defense right now. Zosa falls just because he didn't realize that there was a person on the window and a person close, because all I believe he ended up hearing was the person close. So yeah.
Poor Koala can still not get this mute jammer. Unfortunate there for the Twitch, and such a refreshing sight. Right, using the shotgun instead of the DX. Could go for the swing here, I believe. Standing in the side room, rather. Excuse me. It's going to be Plex here.
Oh,
shit. Close. What a shot from Chet onto Warren. And with that camera there, they know exactly where to go. This doesn't look like anyone's flanking right now. With only 30 seconds left, they know they just have to sit and wait. If he goes into that side room, Plexios is going to remove his head with We're just swing out and try to get the kill. We'll see if they can. We're looking for some landing shots, but not enough. Down to 1 shot. 18 seconds, just enough time to easily take this over round.
Koala being surrounded from all angles, it feels like. And that's kind of what happens when you play Akron. You know, even if they'd have had the 5th team member, who's to say that they wouldn't... I'm so sorry, I wasn't ready for that. I got to get a little close sometimes. Who's to say that they weren't going to, you know, be suffocated, so to speak, by them anyway? Why is my camera quality so bad? I don't know what's going on.
It's been an interesting start to this game, more than a couple of reasons, but yeah, I mean, hopefully for their sake, Iowa State is able to pick things up. Like we said, though, it would have been a tough round even with all 5 players. It did look like a fairly solid defense too, really unable to get off and like off to a good start. And that mute jammer on that side room just slowed down so much of their attack with the fluorescent and the Twitch. We saw the second Koala threw the drone in there. Akron just destroyed it before they could even get into the view. Just speaks to how good this team is in their strats, knows exactly what the offense is going to try. Might want to buckle in if you're Iowa State. It could be a short game, but it's going to feel like a long one.
Yeah, it is certainly going to feel like they are just draining the life out of you. They're just such a suffocating team, especially on defense. On attack, I mean, they've been known to spread out, but they're going to hit you from all angles. And yeah, I mean, Akron is just such a meticulous type of team. And when it comes down to it, like, you didn't have your 5th team member, yeah, and it is Ricken, so one of the most impactful members of the team. But at the same time, like, the way they played that defense, even if it was a little, you know, back and forth here and there, we're just waiting on the rehost. I mean, they were still everywhere all at once, and it's insane to think that's how that ended. And even when they have their 5th team member, it might still go that way.
Interested to see where the rest of this one goes. Of course, Akron now going to have to go downstairs either to the mid floor or that bottom floor. And of course, this is one of the maps with an interesting sight. I don't know if we're going to get to see it. It's normally not very preferred by the defense, but they do have a split floor bomb site. It's always a ton of fun from our perspective, at least, when we get to cast it. Don't know if Akron's going to approach that one, but really a lot more options on this map than you kind of expect out of a traditional R6 map.
Yeah, that's very true. There's so much diversity on this map. And this, at the same time, this, in my opinion, is ISU's best chance, single best chance to take down Akron in any way, shape, or form. If they're going to do it, they're going to squeak by 8-7 OT win, max OT. If they do that, if they can even make it there, that means you're going to have to take 8 rounds off of Akron, though. Knockdown, drag out, boxing, championship boxing fight, WrestleMania main event, a UFC 205 main event, whatever you want to call it. That is going to be the toughest challenge yet for ISU, and you might have just tuned in. What is he yapping about? What's the toughest challenge for ISU? You're going to have to take 8 rounds off of Akron most likely if you're going to win this first map. And saying that, it sounds outrageous. But this is one of their, if not their best maps. It's just plain and simple. If this is one of your best maps, you're going to have to show up. You're going to have to show out. And when it's against Akron, you're going to have to take at least 8 most likely.
Tough road ahead of them for sure, but you can best bet that this ISU team is up to the task. Iowa State been battling back this whole season, gonna try to keep it rolling now, especially with that recent win over Columbia College. Gotta think, a lot of momentum, a lot of good vibes going their way. Gonna try to keep it rolling here into this championship game. Akron ready to defend this bottom floor site, probably about what we expected. And I like seeing the Meister pick as well. Does so good on this site. And no Brava, they do have a Thatcher on the side of Iowa State. I'd love to see a Brava, you know, turn this utility against them. Same with the Banshee. They could really see a lot of value on this site.
That pick could see a lot of value out on this site, but at the same time, I was thinking the same thing last week when me and Pearson were talking, and ISU just never really opted for anything like that. They're a lot more of a standard attacking type of team. It's more about just going in there, getting the kills, you know, opening the wall, doing what they got to do. When it comes to this Iowa State attacking, you know, side, they're not as meticulous as some other teams are on the attack. And it's very interesting to see. I feel like they're a lot more old-fashioned, old school. Open the wall up from a distance with the ace, use the thermite, make sure that you have these angles that they don't want you to have. And that's exactly what has happened so far, as the wall is now open and things are about to get a little bit more dicey for this Akron defense, as well as having Whirl, who was a big factor on this specifically last week. Now he's downstairs. He's getting ready to push in the other side with Koala. Things could go south quickly. Got a man on pillar, a man in the back, and a man in the little hallway there. Flex with a crazy opening kill onto Koala, who was... You didn't get a chance to see it. He was the one who was behind Whirl. Oh, but a pistol kill onto Plex. He's doing what he can. Space takes him out. Oh, and now it's a 1v3. Now the words can't come out fast enough. Akron takes it just as fast as the round started. Akron is up 2-0 already.
I mean, blink and you'll miss it from Akron. It happened so quickly, and in part, Iowa State just kind of filing in.
They did.
They had plenty of time left, had plenty of utility, and just not really letting things play out. I don't know if it's desperation, a little bit of uncoordinatedness. Hopefully, it ends soon, right? We want to see a good game here, and I'm sure everybody at ISU does as well. Akron off to their tertiary site, and indeed, it is going to be piano and whatever the other room's called, exposition.
Yep.
as the Sentry rolls into there. Yeah, no split site this game.
See, but at the same time, you call, and I'm going to yap for a second so you can see the Buccaneers pick. I'm going to say that out loud. You know, when it comes down to it, you know, you don't necessarily categorize, and this might be a hot take, but when you've got two teams like this, you might not necessarily categorize piano as the tertiary site. Because look at what we're seeing here. We're seeing Jobu sit up top. He's definitely going to have some support. They're reinforcing those back walls off while also making sure that it's going to be even tougher for them to be able to enter the site. Because when you're entering the site, if you're not entering from the top, then you're going to have to go in laterally, vertically. And piano is so close, you know, within that outside hallway right there to the windows and to that window on the side and to the main door. So it's either go in up top or go in laterally. Either way, though, Akron is making sure that all of their bases are covered. And as of right now, they've done a decent enough job. Now, we do have 2, about to be 3, maybe attackers in on the top floor already. But look at that. There's 1.5. Well, Jet's not down there anymore. On the top floor. Whirl doing what needs to be done. He took Space out. I believe Space was one of the ones who was almost up here, but wasn't at the same time. Jobu. Zosa gets the kill onto Whirl. Now, Whirl is very important to this, to the push here as Plex goes down 3-3. Now, Zosa gets another one Jobu was in such a good position, as I was about to say, for the Nitro, but instead he actually gave Zosa a hole to be able to look through. Now it's all about rotating back. One of your main guns in space got picked off while rotating. Zosa is being spotted out. Maybe it is just a ploy, not necessarily sure. Some of the attackers are still up top, but most of the defenders have already rotated back out. Plex might not have died for in the way that he wanted to die. Koala gets shot through the floor, through one of the holes that was made. Jobu ends up getting Nar, and Koala ends up getting Jobu right back. So this has been a tale of back and forth so far this round. Koala has the diffuser now. Reckon is also up with him, but you did not see Zosa chilling in that little side room. Reckon is down. Zosa and Jet have to take out Koala, and Zosa is in such a good spot. He didn't see him crouch, though. You have to be careful. Koala now knows of Zosa's whereabouts. But if you fall, you might be dying to Jet. Wait just a minute. No, he hears Jet rotating, though. Jet is it's actually Zosa and Jet both. Okay, they're both heavy operators, though. You got to know he's in sight. You've only got 40 seconds, though, so as soon as you hear the plant, just go down on the other side, in my personal opinion. That'd probably be the best thing for you. But Koala is actually, he might bait it here. Pros don't bait. Don't forget that. He didn't get hit by that. He didn't get hit by that one either. So he's still at about 80 HP. He's got a pretty good read on where one of them are. He's going to run away from Zosa, try to get the plant off here. There's no nitros left now.
It's upstairs.
Oh, Jet is upstairs. And look at that. Jet knew he had an angle to watch. He was watching the hatch while the pressure was being made from Exhibition going around through the rotate. That's exactly what needed to happen. Akron up 3-0 after being down a man for most of that round. Welcome back, Fisher.
Thank you. I was going to say, I was wondering when I was getting into that round. The whole thing unfolded, but covered it beautifully. Akron up 3-0. Going back to the upstairs site. Be interesting to watch. This time around, obviously, was not successful their first time in defending it. And they're also taking a little bit of a different, was successful, and Iowa State was a man down, as I get all my words twisted. But Akron this time, taking a different approach. They got a smoke, which I don't believe they had. They have a pulse. Azami on the board as well. Definitely glad to see some Azami gameplay. Was banned out in the last couple.
Yeah, I mean, Plex on Azami. He's one of the best support players in this entire league. He'll do exactly what's needed from the team. And it's crazy to think this is one of his first years with the team, as Zosa is now just doing his absolute best. You don't have to say any names, but I know you see it. Are you happy with the Buccaneers pick that they just took? I'm kind of surprised about it, actually. I'm very surprised to see that. That's got to mean one of y'all's wide receivers is on the trade wall.
They're not. We just missed both of them. But you know, I'll allow football to seep in for a second. I was really hoping for the safety out of South Carolina.
Yeah, no,
I'll
agree with that.
I'm hoping it'll be good. We'll see. It's siege time right now. That's the only college athletes that matter for the next couple of hours. We'll see what.
We will not be here for a couple of hours, buddy. I hate to be the one to tell you that.
And anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Good point.
You know. That's what they say, and we'll see if it rings true here. Iowa State with 2 minutes left.
Oh,
still looking to get initial entry, and that's going to help.
Whoa!
But Koala making a double for the Ash. G36 all the way. No R4C needed. The double for Koala.
He left again.
Reckon DC's yet again. This time though, in a better position on attack, locked in the 3-3 as Joby gets one on reply. Koala's still going to be an important member, and it looks like they are trying to enter these offices extremely hard. We'll see if they're able to get in, because right now Jobu is putting up a heck of a fight in break room.
Zosa's going to get an easy kill here, though. I don't think they droned him out. I don't even think they know about it. Nitro blows Koala sky high. Thanks for coming. Zosa checked that one out as early as possible. It's all about making sure you know where they are, because even if one singular member of Akron is left on the board, they're going to get their one, and you should 100% know that. Now, with Rican, he's now back already, so luckily it shouldn't have to do any sort of rehost this time. But even though they lost a man, they tried their hardest, and they've done pretty well when it comes to like staying up. Not necessarily just in man count, but, you know, getting one back for the team as one goes down. It is now 2-2. Any man count that they were down, they took one with them. So this has been a very productive attacking round for them so far, but you have to hope that at the very least, Reckon's internet or whatever is causing him to leave just fixes itself at this point.
True. 50 seconds left.
Jet.
Down into a 2v1 as Jet with a nice shot and the pre-fire. You're kidding.
Man.
Whirl sees it a few times and still walks right in.
Wow.
Unfortunate for Iowa State. And we're seeing why here. Akron is the #1 team. Reckon DCs again. That should get a little bit of a technical pause.
Yep.
Hopefully not a rehost. Hopefully Reckon is able to kind of rectify whatever's going on. But give me the expert opinion. Now, you're the analyst here. You are the seed genius. What does Iowa State have to do to get back into this game?
Well, I appreciate you calling me the analyst and the siege genius because I love hearing that. I love hearing that is my title, so to speak. Yeah, but at the end of the day, the way that Akron has been defending this specifically is just out of control. I mean, they're literally letting them do whatever they want. Iowa State needs to bring this back into their own hands. I mean, not only is this your map pick, this is the map that you won your most recent LAN on. This is the map that you beat CC to get here on. Well, this wasn't map 2, but this was map 1. And it was CC's map pick last time as well. So, I mean, you have all of the tools at your disposal, but the durability just has to be at 0 on them at this point. I've been playing way too much Minecraft. But yeah, at the same time, it's like you have everything there. You just need to, bring it all into one little bundle and actually start using it. Because the main problem is they're just letting Akron fly all over the place. Akron is on the top floor. They're on the other side of the map getting spawn kills. 3 of them are in sight. Like, it's just, you need to know where everyone is, and you need to be able to work as a team and collapse in on them. Sosa was a easy free kill, along with the fact that Flex was playing a little bit further away from his team last round. And Flex did end up dying, but at the same time, it's like these kills need to be noticed as fast as possible, because if you can get ahead and make it 5-3 against Akron, it's unlikely, but there is still the chance that if you get up 5-3, you win that round. And they just haven't done that. Every kill that Akron has took, they have tried to take one back with them. Round 1, that was a lot less prevalent than it has been round 2, 3, 4. But at the same time, we'll have to see what ends up happening. They're going for a little bit more of their standard attack lineup, but they did bring the Yana and the Brava this time.
See if those tools pay off for him. I know it's kind of some of what we wanted to see the first time they attacked this, all the way back in round 2. The question is, this time, will it prevail? I don't believe they get the main breach open, unless we just completely didn't see it last time they attacked. So definitely going to be a priority for...
a little.
Well, it's still going to be a priority for Iowa State. With this ramp, definitely suggesting more upstairs play, and all the defenders are in the basement. Interesting cut and turtle strat from Akron. We'll see if it pays off, because there's going to be a lot of pressure from above very, very soon.
I like where Plex is. We saw a pretty interesting kill here last week from... who was it? I think it was Enterprise, who is now Nora, of course, as you're seeing it. He just downed him from a distance last week. Flex is looking to hopefully do the same thing. Now, you got to remember, Whirl did this last time they attacked this, and the person who was backing him up was the one that got taken out. Now, he doesn't have anybody backing him up this time, but Jet is still going to take a piece of the team with him, no matter what happens and no matter where he goes. As Jet takes Enterprise, aka Nora, out already, was so quick. Space is hurt, but like, man, they're just so fast with how they do stuff.
Bomb diffuser has been dropped.
And then looking to get another. Yeah, just gonna be a little bit of wayward damage onto Whirl. Still alive. It's not the most hardened shield operator in the world. Definitely has a few cracks in the shield. Nobody left upstairs. Some of the attackers still checking it out, but rest assured, everybody is in the basement, with exception to Plexios, who's currently working his way up Spiral. Gonna meet Nimble Koala and do a little bit of damage with that smoke bomb, though. For the Brava. 50 seconds to go here for Iowa State. Plenty of time. Problem is, not a ton of utility. Plexios still battling with Koala, but he's still sitting upstairs in the Spiral stairs. A nice smoke grenade, temporarily gonna block the vision, but it doesn't matter. Who needs to see when you can pull the trigger? Space for the kill with the smoke. And just like that, Akron continues to roll along. Plexios finally takes out Koala on those back Spiral stairs. and the rest are just continuing to fall. Jet with another. It is all down to Reckon above. No DCs this time, only down by the weights on the side of Akron. Up 5-1, soon to be 5-1, and they are going to get a 5-0 lead in this defending half. This Akron team can do no wrong. One for the road, though, with Reckon.
Oh,
Oh
and
my
then
gosh,
Sosa
that's
was just
brutal.
waiting.
That's,
You can call them whatever you want, but just don't call them late to supper, man. These guys are absolutely insane. I mean, we've said it so many times already. Literally the best collegiate team you will probably ever lay your eyes on. It's absolutely insane.
yeah, I mean, honestly, can't put it any better. And it just feels bad, right, for Iowa State.
does.
It's not inherently anything they're doing wrong, which you get this case once in a while when you're casting, right?
Attackers need to locate
The other team's just playing
Yeah.
better. It doesn't mean Iowa State's a bad team. It does not mean they have bad strats. Akron is just quite simply insane.
Quite simply
Attackers have located a
insane. Akron last, yeah, it is what we said. Shout out Kingfisher. Akron is now last round on the defense for them. Can they 7-0? Is now the narrative, I guess. Like they're so good on defense, but at the same time, I feel like they're just as good, if not better, on
10
attack.
seconds left.
So it's like Iowa State did pull off some crazy stuff on their defense last week, though. So I mean, I feel like they're definitely going to get a few rounds, but you know, will it be enough, so to speak?
It's a wild Malusi Banshee. I don't think I've ever seen anyone place it above the stairs.
It is a cool
But as a
Banshee
Malusi
spot.
main, I understand.
There you go.
But
It's a pretty
maybe I'm just too low to see that.
And now you know, though. Now you know. That's crazy, actually.
Iowa State trying to take a round back. That is not going to help. Jet gets a kill onto the middle of Koala. And if you haven't been keeping track, Jet is now 7-0. No deaths, 7 kills, managing to keep pushing Akron forward here as they now have a man advantage. It's been fuller sight last time, attacked fairly well by Iowa State. They got it down to 2 players remaining, but then just kind of an unwinnable situation there for Koala in that 1v2. Hoping it's not the same if you're an Iowa State fan, but Akron is playing this one differently. They have a very big top floor presence here. 3 players on that top floor.
3 players on the top floor, and they're going to look to hopefully get Whirl and maybe even Reckon out quick. I don't think, and this is wild to say, right? I don't think Reckon has enough time in a round to be playing Bravo. I think just the heavy gunning that this Akron team does, they're basically not going to be using their abilities that much, as Plex just gets caught looking. Where are you looking at, Plex? Sosa takes reply right back with him, though, and look at that Whirl. The gunner that he is catches Sosa out and about. Enterprise goes down at the hands of Jet. Whirl is hurt. Jet is the one who is going around, though. Turning around town. If he keeps going, he might take Whirl out here.
3v2 favoring Akron. Just over a minute left to play for Iowa State, trying to get themselves back into this game. One round would go a long way here, certainly, in the kind of mental, you know, the flow department. See if they're able to pick that one up. 50 seconds. We're looking at some big crossfires here. Smoke grenade. Skewers 1 for the time being. Just walks right through it and gets the kill. Jet looking invincible. Akron looking unstoppable. And they're going to take 6 unanswered rounds.
6 unanswered rounds in the grand finals. Oh my god. Like, what? This is insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, right? From a casting perspective, because there's not a whole ton to talk about. It's not a glaring weakness.
No.
Teams are exploiting. There's not one big issue that we can talk about getting fixed. This is just one team skill gapping a little bit. I mean, Iowa State, they have fought hard to be here. They deserve to be here, but Akron is just looking infallible.
It's honestly insane. I don't even know. I don't really even know what else that I can say. Like, if I say any more, I'm gonna get accused of glazing Akron too hard. But I mean, I said it
True.
best myself earlier. Didn't they earn what they are? Like, aren't they earning it right now before your eyes and in Playfly and in Rally Cry and in all these places that they've literally Thanos snapped their fingers and just had the grand finals victory crown in their hands, like, and it seems as though they're getting ready to do that again. I will let you, the dear viewer, keep this in mind. Akron is going for the three-peat, which has not happened. It's 66 in the Midwest. That's never happened in the Midwest. So this will be a three-peat. This will be 3 straight Division 1 and 2 championships from Akron Varsity if they end up winning this one. And as of right now, they're looking to 7-0 on map 1. Are you kidding? Koala, it's just the drone work is so absolutely insane. Joby ends up getting the nade kill. All of the work really was done by his teammate, but at the same time, it's like the drone work is. I've never seen a drone on the fan in top floor like that ever, or bottom floor like that ever. But it's like the drone work is insane. The team comprehension is insane. The way that they move is just the way that they move together as a team. Not a singular movement is wasted, even if Plex and Space are dying. Jet is 10-0. Zoso is 8-0.
Okay.
How did that not kill Enterprise? I don't know.
I mean, I think the better question is why didn't Nor just back up?
That's a good
Nobody's
point.
looking at the security secretary room. I think he thought it was going to get blocked by the doorway.
Always
It isn't.
watch your back.
Still an explosion. Still going to hurt you. And the attack here making nice time. Junka's using these flames, but unlike Goyo, these disappear very, very quickly. Flies are still up on the site door, though. So luckily for Iowa State, no crossfire coming just yet. Should look to fade within these next 5 seconds. Akron's getting close here. Nor has finally escaped from the secretary, but it won't matter. Space gets it down. Will not get the kill, but knows that Iowa State can pick him up. Reckon is falling. Whirl is down. It's on to Reckon and Reply. Reply pushing out. Might be looking for the res. Reply gets 1. Makes it a 1v4 for Reckon. The 7-0. The flawless could be around the corner. Tachanka gets 1. The defuse is going down. It won't even get there. The attack wins. Akron 7-0. And this club looks like they cannot be stopped. What an opening map.
Akron 7-0. Map 1 in grand finals. I mean, look, I told production earlier that I have to be up early in the morning for work, but I didn't know that they were going to go tell Akron.
Message along.
I didn't know that they were going to go tell Akron that, hey, look, double 7-0 so Ace can get proper sleep. Like, oh my God. Like, 1-7-0 down, 1 more to go. It's your map pick of Clubhouse. One of their preferred maps, one of their favorite maps, one of their best maps. I said it best myself earlier. Iowa State were going to have to take 8 rounds off of Akron if they were going to win, and Akron just showed up 7-0 dog walked ISU on their best, on their favorite. I'm seeing nothing but gray and cloudy skies for the rest of ISU on this one.
Don't worry, I'll keep being an ISU supporter for the rest of the set. One of us has to be. We'll see what happens for it. I'm not letting you respond to that one. Going on to Clubhouse is going to be a tough map, right? Akron's good on Clubhouse. And of course, the momentum thing is rolling with him. Luckily,
Yeah.
I mean, even if Akron won, or even if Akron is number 1 in the league, it means Iowa State's number 2. This is the top division. They're in the grand finals. They deserve to be here. They are still perfectly able to come back into this one. But the question is, how much does kind of momentum and mental play in at this stage? All these players are mentally tough, right? You know, they have all the stamina to go even to a best of 5 if we happen to be in that. You don't think they'd be discouraged after a game 1 loss, but given it's that complete, I mean, I don't know how you come back from that.
Ooh, I don't know either. 7-0. It was your best map. It was your favorite map. And you barely ever got them down to having 2 or less alive in any round out of all the 7 that was played. So it's looking grim. Shout out Grim, R6 operator. Yeah, I don't know. Let's go ahead We will be right back with Clubhouse. Akron speed run to championship challenge just started. If you missed it, 7-0. Map 1, ISU's best map, their favorite map, the map that they've been the hottest on lately. Akron did not. Akron barely let them kill 3 people. So yeah, we will catch you for Clubhouse at the end of this short break.
Wait, what am I supposed to say? I'm feeling great, 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 I'm feeling great. Mommy told me do my dishes, I said, oh no. I got 30 turns, so I call it Geico. And I be so cheap, I get my groceries from Costco. I hate all them dairy products, that is why I froyo. Why your bitch you looking, bitch you looking like some Jello. Yeah, I'm ready, I'm ready. I don't sip all that, I'm only sipping on Modelo. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling great, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling great, 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 I'm feeling good, I'm feeling great, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling great, I got my body on every side, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling great, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling great, I'm feeling good.
right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I hope that you grabbed something to eat because I think if you're a fast eater like me, I usually eat in about anywhere from 7 to 10 minutes. That's probably about how long this is going to take. It's insane to say it, insane to think it, but the absolute utmost confidence from Akron, from anyone who's ever followed Akron, and just wanted to see them do nothing but succeed from day one. I'm not going to say that that's me, but yeah, I mean this era of Akron could be coming to a little bit more of a close, so to speak. Like I said in the pre-show, with the fact that they're losing somebody as important as Jet in this off season, I guess you could call it, but as well as the fact that they also could be losing space. I'm not necessarily. I think he's kind of up in the air. This could be one of the last times that we see this specific dominant Akron team together. So we're all here to enjoy the ride, and this ride may not last as long as we wanted it to. And that's okay because change is something that usually happens in this world, and we all just have to be ready for it. So I'm back, of course. I'm here with Fisher. If not our first, this is technically Fisher's second grand final of the day. So, are you holding up, buddy? Well, what's going on?
I'm good, man. I'm here. I'm ready. I'm ready to see what transpires. I think luckily for me, it's looking like it's going to be another short one,
Yeah,
right? Obviously, not set in stone. Iowa State definitely have what it takes to take this Akron squad to map 3. But given the way map 1 went, I think it'd be
Yeah.
a different story if there was some fight back, right? If there were some positives to draw on, there just quite simply weren't. Akron
Not
looks
at all.
unstoppable right now. Everybody died in every round for Iowa State, with exception to reckon, who DC'd in 2 of them, unfortunately. But looking at the other side, I mean, how are you going to slow this down? 9-2, 8-2, 10-0. It just looks like a landslide right now.
10-0, and then you look at what on paper is their worst player, Plex. He had 5 assists though at the same time. Like, yeah, he died 6 times. He's the guy who sticks his neck out. You know what I mean? And let's take a look at the player to watch for Clubhouse. I can only assume it's Zosa. It is. The SPR being 63 is honestly one of the most insane things I think I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, kind of similar to what we were talking about pregame with Zosa as well, looking at the numbers. Almost a 55% survival rate, which was the overall. It's just slightly lower. Overkill per round, a 2.5 kill death ratio. I mean, you just can't do it better, right?
Not at all.
We'll see what happens here in these picks and bans. See if anything switches up. I believe last round bans were fairly normal. The double shield ban was maybe a little surprising, but on Clubhouse too, shields are very prevalent. Would not be surprised, and of course, Blackbeard is gonna be the first ban.
Blackbeard goes first. We're looking for probably Monty again. I feel like Iowa State utilized that Monty very well last game against CC. And then when it comes to the blitz, I feel like he was not utilized near about as well as he could have been. And just like that, Akron does get Monty out. Now we could see Mira and Valkyrie again, but I'm expecting Mira and probably Azami here.
See what it is. It's gonna be the Kaid actually. So never mind. I take back best analyst, seed genius, all never again. Never again.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, that's right. That's how we're playing it
Oh,
today.
come
But
on now.
the Kaid ban makes sense from Akron, right? He's pretty good on the defense. And given the way that Akron's been rolling, they want to keep that momentum up, right? And Kaid does give them the best chance on attack. Can't reinforce those hatches. Makes that jacuzzi wall as well for the top floor much more difficult to hold. So I like the ban from Akron, even though it's not kind of the normal one on this map.
But here's the question. Akron was the one who banned Kaid, and yeah, they're not starting on the defense, but who was it? Jobu. Jobu was so masterful on Kaid. It was probably one of, if not the only defender that he even picked that entire map 1. Like, I can see it and then I can't see it at the same time from Akron.
Yeah, gonna be interesting to to see what happens. Looks like we got top floor defense here, you know, gym, bedroom. Nothing really out of the ordinary. We see a Danos coming through too for Akron. The pixel, or I guess we didn't see a whole ton of in map number 1. Granted, don't think it would matter. And the thing that was surprising me from Akron is, with being such a good team, you can kind of expect sometimes like unorthodox strats, like kind of tells that we didn't have much success. It was a very standard looking defense. They didn't use a crazy insane roam game a whole ton. So interested to see how they kind of attack that, if that's reflected in their methods. See shortly enough as the round is starting. Map number 2 starts right now. Iowa State looking for a way back into these grand finals.
They're looking for a way back into these grand finals, but are they going to find one is the question. It really depends on these first few rounds, I'd say. And like I say, these first few rounds are going to be everything. Because, and look at that, Koala gets Jobu quick and easy. Thatcher's off the board. But yeah, these first few rounds are going to be what determines it, in all honesty. And even then, I'd say that you still can't count Akron out. But if you can get the advantage on them, it makes it a lot harder for them to be able to come back on you.
Absolutely. Man count even as Zosa gets reply. To be expected, of course, Zosa, the player to watch for this map, so be sure to keep your eye on the leaderboard. Some big numbers here from the Thermite. And Koala, the one holding out on the top of red stairs. Let's see an opening into cash. I don't know if there is one. And it's a kill from the Danos. Plexios went underneath, was able to rotate out. Koala pays the price. Zosa taken down by Whirl. It looked like that jacuzzi wall was already opened up. Doing a job of doing the time being the ace. Gonna want to take out that campus sooner rather than later.
And now Akron just making sure that they run in pairs and that they make sure they clear out every room that they're in before they move forward. Now they've got a pretty good idea as to where the rest of the defenders are, and that would be either in or around site to a certain extent. So yeah, it's really all about timing at this current point in time, and also making sure that everything is the exact way that they want it to be going into this round execution. Oh, he barely missed him.
Unfortunate timing here from Jet. 50 seconds remaining, and Akron gets on top once again. It's going to be space taken out. Whirl. Jet gets killed. I reckon it's all on North. Does have a C4 and gets the initial kill. Shotgun in hand too, but it won't matter. Jet gets the kill. Another for the member of Akron, and just like that, they continue 8 unanswered rounds to start our grand finals.
8 straight. Wow. They just need to make it 14 straight, and they're pretty close already. So, I mean, there's not too much else to be said. I did like the way that Iowa State defended that, but at the same time, Akron, this being their map pick, this being the map that they gravitate towards, you know, usually gravitate towards the most. It's like Akron has basically seen everything, and I can almost guarantee you that even without the masterful, absolutely masterful drone work that they always tend to have up their sleeve, they know and are going to continue to know what Iowa State's doing before they even do it, in all honesty, I'd say. A zombie gate on the dirt door is not something that I've seen very often, but it is very interesting to say the least. You're going to have to keep an eye on that.
5 seconds to go.
I guess it makes sense if you think about what's going to come for dirt. You know, maybe make it a little harder so they can't just smoke or flash and run in and cause chaos. Whatever the rationale is, dirt going to be a little bit harder to approach. And now with no Kaid, they're not going to opt for any wall denial. Of course, dirt is too easy to take out from that drone. And you really only need the hatches. So they're going to get to forgo that little piece of utility just for now. Oh, Squirrel is going to be instrumental in kind of holding back the push, as well as smoke on Reckon. So interested to see how they use it. And look at the open kill. Space falls to Koala.
Wow.
Puts that vector to good use.
Opening kill again onto a member of Akron. I don't think it was Space last time. I think it was Jet last time. No, it wasn't Jet. I believe it was Jobu. Yeah, Jobu last time. I mean, just because you're up 5-4 doesn't mean you're going to win the round. I mean, look at the round total right here, right now. Akron being up 1-0. But it's like, You need to keep piling it on. You have to keep piling it on. You have to make it a 5-3 and a 5-2 and even a 5-1. I wouldn't count Akron out, but you've got to keep your foot on the gas. You've got to keep the pedal to the metal. Oh, and you almost had a chance to get that one off, Zosa, but it looks as though you're going to be being watched, so to speak. He does end up getting the breaching charge down, though, and now it's all about making sure that you can take one or two back before the execute starts.
Able to now get a nice angle onto those main stairs. Man, Daniel still resides with Iowa State for the time being, but of course with no Kaid, all these hatches are going to start to come open. And importantly, staying alive. As you remarked earlier, Joby, the first death last round would have been catastrophic for the attack.
Yeah.
Not going to be impactful this time. Zosa moving down very early, going to get this canister onto the wall, but instead Smoke will back him up. Somehow takes 0 damage from that, unfortunately for Reckon. One assist. Gonna fall the wayside. 1 minute left for Akron to play with, and it looks like they're trying to get aggressive early. Zosa goes down. Reply, after some difficulty with the wall, will manage to get through. Looks like Zosa is going to be revived, so Akron stays 4 strong.
4 against 5. This is one of the most stalled out offenses I've seen so far from Akron, though. Akron is not a team that is very likely to stall in the way that they have as of right now. I mean, it's all about making sure you know where everyone is as Plex ends up getting Enterprise, aka Nar. But yeah, I mean, they're looking for it now. Zosa ends up getting reply on the cross, and look at that. Another one. Oh, but it's 2-2 now, just like that. Koala peeks in on blue. Reckon makes it 2-1, and now it's 1-1. Jet in the one-on-one against Reckon. He doesn't have diffuser, though. This might be the round for Iowa State, and it is. Iowa State stop Akron at 8 straight. It is now 1-1 here on Clubhouse.
And that is the round they needed. Not without a few late game theatrics. Akron, with a ton of kills rolling through, eventually get put to a stop by Iowa State. Nimble Koala especially doing an outstanding job in blue, kind of quelling that push after missing the initial kill. Let a few of the teammates die. So definitely making up for it very quickly for Iowa State. Certainly be happy about that one. Looks like they're going back to gym bedroom. And, you know, have to point out, the first time around, I don't think it was necessarily a bad defensive loss in the round. Just kind of, again, Akron hitting shots. I mean, they are not missing bullets at this point in the game, so you definitely can't count on that. But it looks like Iowa State going to be using a similar defense. They will be bringing along a castle. If memory serves, I don't think they took round one, did they?
I don't think so. I don't think they took one round one. And now, yeah, honestly, you're right. Now it's going to be all about stifling Akron. You've done it. You've overcome the odds of actually taking a round off of Akron. Now unless they just are, unless they're malleable to the situation, you're going to have, which they're very likely to be, you're going to have to continue to keep up what you just did and do it more and more and more and more and more to a point where you actually are in this. As of right now, it's a 1-1. I wouldn't say they're 100% in this yet, but they're getting pretty close if they can continue to do what they did last round, here in this round and in the rounds to come.
See if the success continues and for which squad. 30 seconds in, yet again, we'll be getting that wall open. Only Meat Brock able to be dispatched very easily by the Thatcher, who they didn't even need to, so not too much lost space. Will get the drone zapped out by that mute, and so it's able to open up the other wall as well. So this mute jammer is not doing a good job at keeping these walls closed, unfortunately, for the side of Iowa State. Interesting setup. Reckon is downstairs in the lobby, but is not the one with the C4, so just going to be looking to get some kills from the windows. Some cheeky late game angles might be enough. Plexios is in the garage. Garage storage, rather, on Danos. I don't know if they spotted this Frosso, so might not be able to track Reckon just yet.
Reckon
Plexios dies to Reckon. How about that?
Yeah, look at that. Just as you say something. But Jet gets Koala right back. I think you are.
Sure, there you go. We can both be the seed geniuses
There
today.
we go.
Jet takes down Koala rather. Flores gonna get that keep it there off the board. Of course now Koala back up. 2 kills roll through. Joba and Zosa take down Reckon and Whirl successively. 2v4 now for Iowa State. Unfortunately for them, unlike last round, they do not have time.
Nope.
There's a full minute for these attackers to push into this bomb site, and they're looking to do just that. There are 3 out on the highway rather. 1 in the cash room. It's going to be Space, the only one inside the objective. With that castle barricade on the gym door, they could be looking to push through. If they hold the cross onto gold, Fly will not be able to stop this plan. Letting a lot of time roll by though, 20 seconds gone. The roof in Logic will be opened up, and there the pop is into Jim, but Reply will get it. They get the crossfire in the end, and they will take down Nor as the last man standing yet again. Jobu with the final kill, Akron with the final word. The Zips now up 2-1.
It's all about back and forth for this Akron team. If one or even 2 men go down, you have to be in a position to get 2 back from the opponent, and that's exactly what they've done. That's exactly what they've been doing, and that's exactly what they're doing now. It's like that's what won them that round, and I can confidently say that they did it in round 2, but they didn't execute the same way that they usually execute it, and that is probably what lost them that round. But just such a flexible team, able to do whatever is needed whenever it's needed. And that's exactly, I mean, running in pairs as well. That's a big thing that I'd say a lot of these teams need to pay more attention to. Look at how well it pays off for a team like Akron.
Akron is moving effectively right now and moving with a purpose. 2 attacking rounds by the Clubhouse, already nice work. If they can take even 1 more, they'll put themselves at a very good split going into the second half of this game. They do have to note, with Iowa State taking a round off, already looking better than they were in game number 1, and they are sure to want to keep it rolling that way. Maverick was not banned out this time around, so Jobu on that pick should be able to open this wall up fairly easily. We'll see if that is what happens. Akron plenty of time to work with. They're moving fast and they're shooting even quicker. Jobu gets the open kill onto Reckon. It looks like the Rook was trying to spawn people.
I think he was, but that is just
storage,
something. You just can't do that. You just can't do that against this team. They know where you are no matter where you are on the map.
Yeah, they're smart. You know, these guys game. That's what they do. They're gamers.
Yep.
Making it known here, Jobu looks like they're gonna try to trick this entire wall, which will leave space to open it up with Ash. They don't really have a ton of other tools. You normally see something like a sledge or a buck. And Ash might die here. Space is on the other angle. Sees the tail end of one player, unable to hit it. Look at the crossfire that will roll through. Plexios takes out Koala and Reply. On to Space. Zosa takes out Whirl. Now it's going to be just Nor and Reply. Last 2 alive. This Maverick continues to go to the wall. Nor's in trouble, and Nor is dead. There it goes. The Maverick pulls. We were just waiting on it. Jeff with the kill. Rest of the team born in. Nades out. Bullets out. Reply is close to death. And there will come the crossfire. Here will come the finishing blow, and Akron is up 3-1.
Akron's up 3-1, and I said it best myself at the end. I said Akron has been doing ever since the very first, like I'm talking ever since pre-show, they have decided that it is their prime time now to speed run to grand finals, another grand finals victory. And that's exactly what they're attempting to do here. I mean, there's absolutely nothing at all that I can say about how well they just attacked that site right now.
Textbook, you know, if you're a team, you're looking for strats, you're looking for how to play, watch Akron. They got it all on
100%.
lock. Already 3 attacking rounds on Clubhouse. You know, it's good already, but given the way this game is flowing, there's going to be more, and they're going to come fast. As Akron team also have to know, when they're making these side pushes, these final execute, there's a minute left in the round. They have so much time to play with. Bandit this time then try to keep Dirt closed. There's no Maverick, but I mean, there's a Thatcher and you can shoot the batteries from Dirt. Granted, you're really not going to put them anywhere else, but a little bit of a wasted effort if you have to.
The Caveira pick, though, from Reply, look at that.
It's desperation.
I don't know. Is it desperate? or is it tech?
For the
I don't
spawn
know.
peek again, so kind of.
Yeah, okay, maybe so. It could be tech though. It could be tech.
I mean, yeah, they don't have Jackal, they don't have Damo, so it's a good pick. And Nimble Koala gets a spawn peek onto Zosa. How about that? No ACOG needed, just a 50-round mag.
Oh,
Supply falls, so the Caveira was not tech, and it looks like neither was a spawn peek, as it now paid for it on the way back to site. What starts out as a positive, just immediately falls apart from Iowa State. You hate to see it, but Akron just firing on all cylinders. Getting the ace is nice, but Habana's still up, which means all these hatches have very limited lifespans.
Yep, Jobu gonna make sure of that himself. He's getting ready to pop a whole bunch of them at once and throw this Iowa State defense off its rocker. It didn't really do too much. I will say that Reckon did get a little hurt over there on Secret, but other than that, nothing too important has happened so far due to those hatches being blown open. He heard him running, and he just barely missed him, and now he's probably about to be swung. And yep, Space rarely ever misses those. He almost did, but Reckon is now off the board. It is a 2v4 now for the Iowa State defense.
Minute 20 to go. Also have to mention, we forgot to earlier, but there was another grand finals being played tonight. Iowa ended up taking the victory as kills are rolling through. So we'll come back to that later. Iowa State still alive here, looking for another, but they're gonna fall. Nora goes down. Whirl with the kill, and just like that, it's a 1v1.
Oh!
Make it a 1v none. Iowa State has life here. 2-3. How about that answer from the ISU squad?
What a shot that was by Whirl. He knew he needed to connect, and that's exactly what he did. Wow. I mean, the way the round fell there, though, was definitely not in Akron's favor. I don't think that they're going to be attacking in anywhere near the same way that they did that last round right there again, because that just obviously was not at all what they had in mind and how it was going to go. It did not play out at all for them. And Iowa State showing that they have life. They're trying to breathe some life back into this match. They're trying to give us something to watch before the inevitable becomes the inevitable. Can't guarantee it at this point, though.
We can't. Akron has looked unstoppable in attacking these top four sides. Granted, Iowa State has looked good attacking the basement. I think they fought back from behind both times, but still managed to get the win. So, you'll take it if you're an ISU fan. But Akron has been the better team here on the top floor. Make no mistake about it. We'll see how they vary it up this time. It looks like they're going to go for a thinner in an array to try to dispel some of that aggression that's coming from the catch side. Last one was interesting. There was only one player in the building the entire time from Akron. The rest just got kills from Highway. That can't happen if you're Iowa State, and they are a good enough team. Despite being this far behind, they are not going to let that happen again.
Not at all. They're going to try their absolute darndest to do this the right way. And he did get that trick off. We see Zosa now only has one charge left. He's going to have to booty to the other side, and he should be able to get it here unless Reckon decided that he was also going to book that, but instead he doesn't, and the wall and the construction wall is now open.
Big break there from the Thermite. Zosa gets it open. Jet gets the opening kill on the board. Whirl taken out this time. 1 minute into the round, but looking at the health bars, they are low on the side of Iowa State. About to know, but Zosa a little bit late on the fire there. Attack pushing in. Koala is down to one shot. Nora is down to no shot. Space will kill for that one. There's now Koala into their own demise. The line of bullets do not stop for any man. And Space continues to fire on. 6 kills. Space Akron look poised to take their 4th offensive round, something that does not happen on Clubhouse. Reckon downstairs, missed a C4. The cross player on the hatch, but turned away. Plexios gets the kill because of it. Reckon back up the main stairs, diffuser going down, angles being held. It is just a matter of time here. Sees the gun, will the player follow here. Plexios has a bit of damage, and Reckon will be killed by Jobu, hopping through the wall. The vault not disrupting. Akron Esports take 4 on attack 3 short rounds away from the three-peat.
Unbelievable. And I don't even know if ISU had Rexon, as you said, on their team. I don't even know if he'd be able to help them at this current point in time. Like 4-2, I will say they're doing their absolute best, but their best is not currently, at the very least, enough.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused
And
by
yes,
attackers.
Rexon is a real player.
I know who Rexon is. Man,
Okay.
you keep trying to
I
disparage
didn't
him.
know you play. I didn't know you watched competitive Siege like that. I'm sorry.
We went over this. I'm not kidding. The last
Did
time
we?
we cast it. Because
Did we?
also
Are you for real?
referenced- Yeah, you referenced another player that you didn't think I would know.
What, bro? My brain is absolute
This.
pudding for that. What,
Dude,
my
take a
brain
sticky
is
note
chocolate
right
pudding.
now.
Oh my
Put
god.
it on your computer. Fisher nose ball. That's it. That's it.
Fisher
That's all
nose ball,
need to
there you go.
remember.
Fisher
There you
knows
go.
ball. You do.
Fisher nose
you do
ball
know
and Fisher
ball.
nose siege. That's all you gotta remember.
Definitely knows Siege.
Exactly. We'll see this time acting. This is interesting. Mirror wasn't banned. It was something we talked about, kind of expecting, given it happened last game. This is such a strong mirror map. Iowa State didn't use it once. Do you think that would have helped them? Maybe not turn some of the rounds, but make them closer. I mean, those top floors were never close. Mirror would have been such a huge asset.
Not at all. Just
Okay,
straight
fair
up and
enough.
down. Straight up and down, not at all. 7-0 is absolutely insane. They're doing a lot better, and by a lot better, I mean they actually took 2 rounds off of Akron. But I don't think Mirror would have helped them. I don't think Mirror would have helped them last map. I don't think Mirror would have helped them at all on their defense. Now Akron is on defense. Now Mira is available to Akron. A lot of the stuff I said about Mira on map 1 is kind of the same on this map. So, yeah, at the end of the day, Mira is going to help Akron more than it was going to help Iowa State anyway, and that is why they are on Mira.
We'll see just how much it helps. Iowa State need a miracle here, and we'll see if one happens today. Akron in the basement. Don't waste a ton of time on the roam. That's okay. Now the problem lies. Okay, I'm gonna point something out. There is no Habana on the side of Iowa State. They have thermite and they have hard breach charges, so they can
see
open
that.
it. But this seems redundant.
I
Just
don't
take
know.
a Habana.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know. Maybe they wanted a little extra flexibility. I mean, they've got the hard breach charges. Why not, right?
Yeah, you know, I digress. It's whatever. The hatches are open. I'm not going to talk about it
Yeah.
anymore. So the job is done. I can hear from upstairs, trying to make some sort of impact on the bug, yet to do so. Diffuser drop, and Nimba Koala trying to work their way inside of oil. This is where that Mira's going to come in this hash now. Anyone that hasn't played in a while, you can take out those Miras. This is why you take Habana. They are impact tricking this hatch. They still have another. They get, well, yep, there you go. That hatch stays
Yep.
closed.
That hatch is gonna stay closed.
That's
That-
you know, I said I wasn't gonna keep harping on it, but I'm gonna. That's a really big
Yeah.
blunder from Iowa State.
Yeah,
This is not.
sadly enough, they know ball.
This is a strong position here from Jobu on the shield, though. I mean, he doesn't care that he's spotted. He can't do anything to push him out, and he knows that. The bullet holes in the bar should be enough. He's going to try to get him to move with the spot. It ain't gonna work. Plexios takes out Reckon. Jobu takes out Whirl. Nor falls to Zosa, and just like that, one remaining.
The
One has
fire.
flames, but it won't matter. Akron go up 5-2, take their first defensive round. 2 away from this win, unless they keep peek and reply, which I don't think they're gonna do so.
He was in
Dirty drop shot from
worm, a absolute worm in the fire on the ground with the Teakle. Yeah, you want to talk about dirty? Oh my lord.
You know, you can't get a more disrespectful kill. I don't think. I mean, nicely done, impressive, but
Yeah.
interesting. 2 more rounds are needed for Akron to three-peat to cement themselves, as you have said so often, the best team we've seen in college R6, and it certainly feels that way.
It does. Like watching and before this, I was honestly somewhat optimistic that Iowa State could at least take us to map 3. But 7-0, looking to be a 7-2. It's just I don't know, like, where do you go from here? Do you, if you're Iowa State, do you just say, thank God we got second place? Or, like, I mean, and when it comes to Akron, how many is too many? Tom Brady realized that too many was 7 for him. And Akron are looking to win, if I'm honest to God, not mistaken, within the past 1 or 2 months, they have 6, maybe 7, maybe even 8 grand finals victories. Like, I'm not even lying. It could be a little bit lower of a number than that, but it's like they've just been racking up grand finals at this current point in time. So it's like, when is enough? I used to be able to eat 50 chicken nuggets as a kid. Nowadays, 50 is too much.
You should not know that you can eat 50 chicken nuggets in one sitting. But
50 is too much now, damn it.
We're
sorry. I wasn't supposed to say
I hate to
that.
break it to you. 50 was always too much.
Hey, when I was a kid, though, man.
I kept out at 20.
Man, when I was a kid.
20.
See, I kept out at 20 nowadays.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's impressive, but like you said, now at least it's too much. It's a kid that's understandable. This wall comes
It's
open.
the same thing with Akron.
There's
When
only
is
50 seconds
enough
in this
enough?
round.
That's crazy.
We're just talking about chicken nuggets now. I mean, it's a
when
grand...
is enough for them?
I don't know. Tom Brady made the smartest decision of his career in winning the Buccaneers, so, you know, maybe it's not enough. See what happens. See what happens for Akron. Is they're just going to keep killing space, get to kill and direct. Easy to forget, Jim Bedroom is the site. They're doing a really nice job of holding cash. It's something that really needed Iowa State on their defenses. And it looks like it is not the same here. Akron get 1 on the winner, but will lose Jet to a bit of damage. I think it was a Jim jump out from Zosa. Looks like they should be able to revive Jet as well. Running up to the window. Norm might be looking for it. No, but just going to be worried about that destruction side. For good reason, a nasty cross sandwich has been established. Rotates damage from a C4, but not killing blow. Jobu not able to land the correct angle. Minute 15 to play. Iowa State in a 2v4, and things are not looking good. But there is life. There are low health bars on the side of Akron. Plexio sees a drone.
Oh, yeah, I see you, Mr. Drone. He's not even going to take it out at this point. I don't know. I don't really know what they can do to even attempt to get back into this. Zosa and Jobu, before they could even start their falling animations, they were dead. They were cooked. There's just nothing else they could have done, I guess, right? And Akron is now 1 round away from the 3-peat.
Akron on the edge of collegiate R6 history, arguably has already etched their name. And you know, in the famous words of the League Ops Manager, if you want to see more content like this, make sure you follow, make sure you stay tuned. These incredible storylines happen every season. This one, just the latest here from Akron. We'll see if they're able to close this one out here. They're gonna move the CCTV cache. Tertiary bomb site used to be favored, and I gotta say, it might be the last round we see this season.
It could be. It could very well be. The champions are on the precipice of greatness, so to speak. And they just need one more to cement their names in the history books as the first team to ever 3-peat in Midwest. Lord can only hope that this league goes far enough to where that will actually be broken one day, let alone continue to be as impressive as it is. And, you know, we've only got 1 round left. So I personally am going to take this time away from you, Fisher. Boo me. And you know what, you're not going to be saying wow in that way whenever I get done saying this, because I'm expecting Akron to win this round. And I told him I was going to do this. So I'm hoping I don't take the entire round. I'm going to try not to. But, you know, I can't really do it post interview. Because, you know, we've all been here for so long now. I want to give flowers to Chippy. Chippy, you have been with Midwest for so long. You've been the guy running the entire show. Us here at Midwest, all of your trial staff, your actual staff, all of your production members, literally everyone on the staff, and even a pretty decent amount of the players, would like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We love you to death, and we want to say that once again, we love you. We hope and pray to the Lord that you have a great rest of whatever you're getting ready to go into here. And it sucks to know that this is your last game. And of course, me and Fisher both, this being one of the first times that we've had a chance to cast for Midwest this season specifically. None of us really knew that it was your last season, and it really did suck to hear that because, in all complete, utter honesty, you're one of the greatest production members I have ever had the chance to to work under. I've worked with quite a few now, and going into almost 8 months of casting, and Chippy Chipman has been one of the greatest showrunner producers that I personally have ever worked with. This is just a moment that will forever be etched in history as Akron look to clear up and make their third straight Grand Finals victory. And I want it to be remembered as the round that we talk about how much we love and appreciate the man who makes the streams. You guys said it best yourselves in the pre-show, the show, the awards earlier. It's the players. It's the players. It's the players. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, and Fisher can attest to this. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I know you can. Uh,
I can.
None of this would be possible. The players wouldn't be in the lobby. We wouldn't have the amazing OBS Justin Presto, everybody else who's done it this season. Oh, you wouldn't even have us yapping if it weren't for Chippy behind the scenes. So this will forever be etched in history, Chippy. We love you to death. It's a 1v2 now, and it looks as though Akron have now etched their names in the history books, ladies and gentlemen. Akron have done it. The current kings of the collegiate scene yet to be conquered. The matriarch of modern day collegiate set to continue their mastery over the Midwest domain. Ladies and gentlemen, Akron are your season 6 Division 1 and 2 champions for the third straight season. Chippy, we love you.
Well deserved from the side of Akron. Historic night for R6 for a historic production lead. As I said, thank you so much, Chippy, for everything you do. And of course, congratulations, Akron. Not too many doubters, I'm sure, in the Twitch chat. Certainly not many in the booth either. An incredible set. Gotta say, though, I'm sure we're going to heap on plenty of praise for Akron. Iowa State with an incredible season, obviously did not go their way in the finals. But you gotta love the players, love the fight, and love the attempt. Unfortunately, tonight just falls a bit short.
Yeah, and in all honesty, before I throw it to the break, we are going to have our interview like we always do. Congratulations to Akron once again. Akron made a Challenger Series. They deserve all of the glaze, all of the support that they get. And of course, you're going to be hearing about it, right? But at the end of the day, it might not have been what you guys wanted, but I felt like that last round needed to be immortalized with the fact that we might not ever get Chippy back. And he has been the driving factor for Midwest so far throughout basically its entirety. Um, and yeah, I mean, he once a player, and then now he's the guy that you go to when you need something done on stream or when it comes to the stream. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Akron. You will continue to forever hear about Akron from now on. But one name that you will not hear about as much, especially from the next set of casters that come in next season, who might not have even known him, is Chippy Chipman. So, Chippy, once again, we love you to death. We thank you for your time that you have given to Midwest. You've been such a delight to work with. You're one of the greatest producers of all time within the Siege scene. And yeah, Akron is forever going to get the love, praise, and admiration that they deserve for going three straight, three-peat, one of the greatest things that has ever been done in the history of things. But at the same time, you guys wouldn't be seeing this stream without Chippy. So, yes, before we hop off and go to we're going to go to a player interview, of course, something that I love, something that we all love. An interview for an Akron player. We're going to get to pick their brains for a minute, but yes, I did want to say congratulations to Akron. You will forever be loved and admired by the entire collegiate scene because of just how good you are. And once again, before we throw it to break, Chippy, thank you so much for literally everything that you have ever done for Midwest R6. And we hope and pray to the Lord that you have a great just rest of your life. I'm sure you'll still be around. I'm sure we'll be able to see you every now and then for maybe a Midwest Awards show or something like that. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to a quick break before we get our player interview with one of the members of the three-peating Akron varsity roster. But as of right now, stick around for that. We'll be right back after this short break with that interview. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, it is no surprise that we are back here with the three-peating Akron Zips varsity team. It is once again Plex. Plex, how are you doing tonight? Are you on cloud nine, or is this just another day at the office? Let's be honest.
I'm doing good. I'm definitely excited. I don't know if I'd say cloud nine, but we did expect the win. But it always feels good to get the win. There's expecting it, and then when you actually win that last round, it kind of hits you. So I'm super excited though. My first season in Midwest, so happy to take it home.
We can't wait to have we can't wait to continue to have you. Fisher's gonna ask you a few. We're gonna do a little bit longer of an interview this time. Hopefully you have a little extra time, and then he'll throw it back to me. I'll ask a few, and then we'll get out of here. So Fisher, take it away.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, we got to start with the most obvious. Game number one, flawless 7-0. Is that something you guys expected coming in? Did you think there was going to be a little bit more fight from ISU? What was kind of the vibes and mindset like? Clearly the vibes are good, but how was that game one process?
I'll be completely honest. Perfect because we knew they were going to pick Consulate.
Yeah,
and they did,
exactly.
and we get to start defense on Consulate. So there's really no more confident way you can start a game. One of the best defending maps. You get 6 rounds in a row, and they played the same maps against Columbia last week and did very similar things against us. So we were very prepared for what they were doing, both macro and micro. Like the first round of the whole game, we knew they were going to go for that yellow, just bum rush, and we just doubled up with shotguns. There's absolutely nothing they could do.
I told you that.
Yeah,
Fisher.
I mean,
I told you that they would do their stuff.
he did.
Wow.
But obviously looked incredible dominant all throughout. But, just want to give a little bit more behind the curtain to what's going on with the squad. For anyone watching along that wants to follow along, what comes next for Akron? Obviously, you guys have enjoyed a ton of success lately. Any big upcoming matches, upcoming events that you want to tell us for the support?
Yeah, we have a grand final next Wednesday for Atlantic R6 against, I think it's Kennesaw. We've got NECC Nationals grand finals. I think it's May 7th. I'm sure there'll be a stream for that. Our last best of 5, so we're looking forward to that one. And then the Playfly CECC LAN is next weekend. That's the big thing we're looking forward to. That's our LAN for the semester, so I'm excited to play with these guys on LAN for the first time.
Yeah, and I'm sure we're all extremely excited to watch as well. I'm going to pass it back to Ace, but once again, congratulations for you and the entire squad. Hard-fought victory.
Yeah, Plex, when it comes down to it, I think I might have another question after this, but I do want to kind of turtle off the back of what Fisher just asked. When the lights are off, when the grand finals are over, when you've won, let's just say you win them all and you've got 8. When you have 8, what is next for this Akron team? Can you just be transparent with me? When the lights are off and when it's all over, what's next?
I personally think it'll only be an upward trajectory. We already know a couple of the people coming next year, and I mean, they're great players. I think the core we're keeping, me, Kosa, and Space, we're a great team together. And I'm going to be completely honest. I don't think anything will change next semester. I think we'll be just as dominant. So that's what I personally expect.
Wow, straightforward from the new young gunner for Akron. Now I do kind of want to turtle off something that I said on stream here as one of our final questions. I brought up how hot ISU had been on Consulate and how it's basically like y'all knew that they were going to take Consulate because that was one of the best opportunities that they had to beat y'all. And then you just literally just said it like you watched Columbia last week. You figured it out. You knew what was going on. What was going through you guys' minds when you're loading up map 1? Like you knew they were going to do the yellow strat, obviously, but it's like you knew how hot they had been on Consulate as well. Did you expect them to take a round or two off of y'all, or was it like straight up and down? We knew we were 7-0 and easy.
To be completely honest, I'm surprised we lost 2 on Clubhouse. I mean,
Wow.
those 2 that we lost, if you watch the rounds too, it was very stupid mistakes. They were in good spots late round. But, I mean, the thing with the Consulate defenses were, if you watch their attacks, it's 5 people pushing the same direction every time.
It's very
and
true.
Just realistically, we're too smart for that. Like, you're not going to be able to just win rounds by playing blitz and trying to run in yellow 3 times in a row. Like, they kept trying to do that kind of stuff. It just... there wasn't enough steps. They weren't making enough vert. They weren't pressuring backside. I think the last defense on Consulate, someone tried to go coffee, just punched the barricade and died. I think they were just. It's good to play with your teammates, but I would recommend that they try to work some ghost pressure in, work some crossfires. Like it just seemed very one dimensional. Like the our piano defenses, those dudes 5-man pushed admin both
They
times,
did.
and it's just
They
like when
did.
we know you're gonna do that, we're just gonna we're gonna stay in weird spots, and we're gonna wait till you walk into us.
Wow. I could not have said it better myself if I was the one in the chair. Unbelievable game. 7-0 map 1, 7-2 map 2. Plex says he's surprised that Akron even lost two rounds on the last map. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for the season, we're going to ask Plex one good final time if there's any person, any league, any championship ring he wants to show off, anybody that he wants to shout out, or anything that he wants to shout out before I transition us out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean, just in general, stay tuned. We got still more championships to come, and I'm hoping we do like the first ever clean sweep. I mean, going 8 for 8 would be kind of ridiculous, but I think it's very possible, and I think it will happen. And just shout out to my family, shout out to my teammates here for giving me this opportunity. Again, it was a last minute thing, and it's worked out 10 times better than I ever could have imagined. And it's been probably the best couple weeks and months of my life. So just thank you to them and my family.
Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Plex, shout out to Akron. A lot of you expected this, and well, ladies and gentlemen, this did happen. Akron wins 7-0 and 7-2 to win their third straight Midwest Grand Finals. Shout out once again to Chippy. Chippy, we could not have done any of this without you. I wanted Plex here specifically on this last one. He has no idea who you even are half the time. But I did want, I wanted it to be a little bit more of like a continuation. Like, just if this really is the last time that we have you in our ears, thank you so, so much for the 4 years that you've given to this league and to the collegiate scene in general. Thank you to my esteemed co-caster who is one amazing siege player across from me, Kingfisher. He got all dressed up right after either class or work. I'm not quite sure which, and he casted two BO3 grand finals today. So shout out to him, one of my favorite people to ever cast with. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, for season 6 of Midwest R6, that has been Plex right there. That's Plex, one of the greatest R6 players ever. On the other side of him is Kingfisher. He has been on your screen for way too long today. And in our ears is Chippy Chipman for one of the final times. Thank you once again, Chip, so much. And I've been your lovely host and voice, Ace of Toronto. Plex, Fisher, Chippy, me, JD, the rest of Midwest. We will see you back here for season 7.